open up opportunities around public companies to make sure that they are able to take advantage of all the features of a PLC.
As an operator in the market, what is your assessment of investors' attitude?
I think the Enlightenment program that's been planned has been currently managed by different interest groups is going to be heavily reinforced by a capital market literacy program, which the Securities and Exchange Commission and capital market operators will be launching within the next 90 days. I think the gaps in understanding for different players in the market will be addressed by this capital market literacy plan. When that plan is launched, I'm very sure it will have to be funded by a communication strategy that will make it possible for different grades of investors to better understand how to access the market. From the bottom of the pyramid to the medium income earners to the high net worth earners, they will have better professional advice on how to access the market. We expect that the small investors will be better advised to access the market through mutual funds. And these mutual funds will have a process for protecting the interests of these small investors in choosing companies to invest in, and also managing the interests of those investors in these companies that they invest in, raising issues that will improve corporate governance practices, raising issues that have to do with performance and making sure companies meet targets that they set.
As the president of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, I know you've been relating with them, and you are a stockbroker yourself. What are the concerns of your members, of stockbrokers?
I think my members would like to see a bigger market. They would like to see a more developed market, a market that is more representative of the key sectors of the economy. So we would like to see agriculture more represented in the market across the 4 platforms. We would like to see oil and gas more represented in the market. We would like to see telecoms, which is one of the fastest growing sectors in the country, represented in the market. And we would like to see, like I said, the power sector represented in the market. We also like to see a stronger financial system represented in the market, a financial system where a greater number of Nigerians are connected to the financial system. We have a very weak insurance industry today in Nigeria. We like to see a roadmap on how insurance penetration in Nigeria will have more impact on the capital market, because there are all kinds of connections between what happens to insurance and what happens to savings mobilized by insurance that will affect the capital market. So we would like to work with the regulators for insurance. We would like to work with the operators of insurance companies to see how the insurance companies can be better agents of capital formation in the capital market. For pensions, we're quite happy with the regulator. We think that the pension industry has done very well in the past 10 years, but there's considerable room for new areas to be charted, especially with the passing of the new Pension Act signed into law by the President in the first week of July. The informal sector that has not been captured by the pension industry, we expect that to become a major area of focus. And the 4.3 trillion naira that has been mobilized to date, I believe we can mobilize multiples of that. I think the target of the new leadership of PENCOM is to see how that amount can grow from 4.3 trillion to the neighborhood of 20, 30, 40, 50 trillion. by having many more people mobilize savings for themselves beyond what is prescribed in the law and what is advised for companies.
Let's get to other issues that may be bothering stockbrokers, and this has to do with the recapitalization of firms in the market. The SEC directed that stockbrokers or stockbroking firms should recapitalize to the tune of 300 million naira. What is your position in relation to this?
We are currently engaging with the Securities and Exchange Commission, and I believe that engagement is something that will produce results that will be mutually beneficial to both the regulator and the regulated. I don't think there's any reason to be apprehensive about the directive. I think within the next few days or weeks, something very positive will come out of that engagement process. The Association of Stockbroking Firms of Nigeria, working with the Association of Issuing Houses, will be organizing a capital market clinic on the 18th of September, where issues of capitalization and issues of demutualization will be the key areas of engagement. And we expect that all stakeholders will be present at that capital market clinic, which is being funded 100% by the Association of Issuing Houses.
Are there options to this recapitalization? Are you going to explore other avenues to get it sorted out?
We are engaging, and we are very confident that that engagement will lead to results, outcomes that will be mutually beneficial to all parties. I think it will be, I don't think it is in the interest of both operators and the regulators for you to start giving an indication of what the outcome will be. So let's wait for the result of that engagement. And the engagement is happening at the very highest levels of the leadership of trade groups and the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, with the leadership of the Securities and Exchange Commission.
What level of relationships do you have with other professional bodies in the country?
We have stretched a hand of fellowship to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. Chidi Ajegu is an associate. We expect that before the end of the year will be a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, because it's past the minimum period required for that conversion. But we are quite excited about the fact that the stockbroker is the president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, and we are quite confident that under his leadership, the relationship between ICANN and the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers will be heavily reinforced. And there are a number of things that we're going to do together with regards to strengthening the financial system and making the country take very strategic steps that will open up closed economic spaces across the country.
Let's look at the state of liquidity in the market. I know that last year, liquidity or illiquidity, as the case may be, was a challenge for market operators. From that time to now, in the second quarter of 2014, what is the situation like?
We have a new CBN governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele. The leadership of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers will be engaging him and his colleagues on issues to do with margin loans, issues to do with the entire capital formation process. We are quite excited about his new direction around development. And development can take place without capital formation. So we expect that the CBN governor, working with the Minister of Finance, will take steps that will make liquidity more available. From the standpoint of savings that is mobilized by the various planks of the financial system, because it is savings that is mobilized that becomes investments, that becomes liquidity in the capital market. We are also going to be engaging to see how very quickly interest rates can come down. Because as long as you have a very high interest rate regime, the capital formation process will be affected. But we are assured that the CBN governor has already given an indication that over time he expects that interest rates will come down. But we might be asking for a faster timetable on that issue, so that the kinds of liquidity that we like to see in the capital market, the kinds of liquidity that we like to see coming out of the entire savings mobilization process will lead to the issues around liquidity to be brought to the fore. It's also, I think the issues of liquidity will also be addressed by the new market platforms. Because a lot of the transactions that were done outside the Nigerian Stock Exchange platform are now going to be done on the over-the-counter platform. So we expect that before the end of the year, we're going to start seeing many PLCs being traded and their transactions being captured in the official market platform.
Let's talk about market makers. How well are they performing?
I think the market makers that have been put in place by the Nigerian Stock Exchange are already having some impact on the market. But I think there are a number of issues that the capital market will have to agree with the authorities at the central bank on. That will make for easier operation of the capital market. Before 2009, the process for capital formation was supported by the banking industry. Because of the problems of 2008, 2009, 2010, the banking industry withdrew considerably from a substantial part of the capital formation process. We'll have to work with the central bank to see how we can reopen opportunities for banks to support entrepreneurs from the capital formation standpoint. But while banks are being called upon to play this role, I think the more strategic planks in the financial system that should mobilize savings should be insurance companies, pension companies. We need to bring the entire housing sector into the financial system. There are a lot of investments in real estate that is not captured in the financial system today. The process for obtaining mortgages is very, very poorly structured in Nigeria today. So I think there's a lot of work that we need to do to open up the financial system so that the kind of liquidity that we should see should begin to flow into the capital market, into the financial system and the capital market.
At this point, I'd like to say thank you, Mr. Albert Chukwumagba, for your time with us on the program.
Thank you very much, Bolaji.
On that note, we've come to the end of Business Incorporated. Many thanks for joining us and, of course, for watching the program. In the meantime, you can send us your comments and questions to Business Incorporated at channelstv.com. You can also join me on Twitter. Thank you for watching. I am Bolaji Akinwale. Bye-bye.